Not many CVZs though. Yeah, the only one was Sorio versus Crimson so far.
Yeah, I mean, look. There's a reason why I flew not a chase earlier. Okay, like.
True. Look, he's busy protecting the internet. But speaking of protecting the internet, we are now here on Blackburn LE, the Angry Panda map, according to our very own Steel Mold. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the green Zerg player coming down from the land of Australia. He is going to be representing Team Opus V. He is kind of the dark horse in this bracket, but also because of that, I'm so curious as to what he will whip out. He is Peppy.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have the Pakistani Protoss. He is blue, representing himself. It is ZAiN.
Honestly, I'm really glad we got Blackburn as our first map.
Maybe we're popping off. Oh god. As a reminder to everyone, this is a best of 5, not a best of 3, so each player only had 1 veto available to them. Oh boy. So what were those vetoes? I imagine Beckett was probably a veto. Maybe Jagannatha. Yeah. Maybe Romanticide, depending on what happens.
I'm gonna say Jagannatha, yeah. You can take Romanticide.
Yeah, I was about to say that, like, for me, if you're up against ZAiN, a player who can embrace Skytoss, I don't know if you want to play on Romanticide, right? Like,
true, yeah.
It depends, like, you know, what you have in store for us, right? Like,
yeah, I can't tell which is worse for going up against Skytoss in a ZvP, Jagannatha or Romanticide. I think Romanticide a little bit more, because Romanticide is just that much more defensible. The Protoss player can definitely get away with being safe on 4 bases. Jagannatha does have a bit more dead air to take advantage of, but it's a little bit harder to get to that point as a Protoss player.
Yeah. I think either way it's rough as a Zerg player.
Yeah.
I think there's a good answer. But we'll see if the series even lasts that long. Again, something that I want to say is that Peppy, he has the benefit of watching the last series. He was in the chat watching Crimson versus ZAiN. He saw how ZAiN fell. He saw how ZAiN played out, the series that he did come out on top of. So he has that added extra information to work with.
Yeah, he's been taking down notes. He's been formulating a strategy. Maybe not necessarily on a map like Blackburn, which is, I mean, anything goes, but yeah, he definitely has the information advantage, as he said.
That he does. Meanwhile, these Slowlings, they actually sneak past everything here. They do get into the main base, and they will be able to scout the opener, scout the Stargate.
Oh, we'll be able to scout the production on that Stargate. They will. And it's gonna be another Void Ray first. So, yeah, just doing. I guess this is the. I don't want to call it a comfort build for ZAiN, but the go-to. Like, without any knowledge of how your opponent likes to play, might as well go for something like this.
That's another interesting thing about this matchup, and that is that I'm sure ZAiN has never seen Peppy play, never played against him either. So because of that, like, again, he's a little bit in the dark. He has to try and make a couple of generalizations about Zerg here in this matchup.
He's going to be checking the gold base very diligently, isn't he?
He should be, mate. He should be. Meanwhile, ooh, Peppy, these things they get here at just the right moments.
Ooh, completely delays the third base from being thrown down just before ZAiN could get 400 minerals for it.
Nicely done. Again, one of the added benefits of Blackburn. Like, the rush distance is pretty short by ground, so the Lings, nicely done. They do deal some damage here. Confirms that the third base is thrown down as well.
He knows exactly where to strike moving forward. It is a little bit more awkward for the Zerg player to hit that third base location on Blackburn. But there is an opportunity for Peppy to just sneak around and hit it.
That there is. Meanwhile, Oracle shows up, but there's already a Spore in position. There is a Queen as well, so far this Oracle not finding too much. Does find one transferring worker.
Yeah, not too bad. Gets a Revelation. Not too much tech should be thrown down by that natural base location, but just in case, you'll be able to see it.
And meanwhile, ZAiN is doing ZAiN things. There we go. +1 air attack is on the way. Second, Stargate is on the way alongside that forge for those cannons. So he is fully embracing, submerging himself in that sky toss.
He is. Meanwhile, Peppy is trying to make sure that doesn't happen. That gold base hasn't gone unscouted yet. Or has it been scouted yet?
It has been scouted.
Okay.
Yeah, so the
he knows
Queen's...
exactly what he needs to deny. Meanwhile, Peppy, he's gonna have a lot of opportunity to just throw army at ZAiN, assuming he's able to saturate that gold base.
Ooh, and an interesting choice here. So Peppy is not going for a queen march across the map. He is going for a spire here. I love it. Going straight for that kind of late game tech, getting that fourth base up and running, as you said. So yeah, Peppy wants to take it to ZAiN.
Yeah, pulling a bit of a crimson here. Also,
Yeah.
if he's able to sneak those Mutalists in, or if he even goes for that.
That's what I'm curious about, right? Is he even going to go for the mutas? Like, the Oracle does not see the Spire. The Oracle was being very diligent when it comes to scouting, went all the way into the natural and the main, but the Spire was at the third.
And it was, and I believe the Oracle has just about been taken out. ZAiN is definitely in the dark here. He knows there's a gold base. He knows that he's going to be behind if he lets Peppy get away with this, but he doesn't know in what way he's going to be behind.
Exactly. Oh, a big difference as well is that if you recall, on 2000 Atmospheres against Crimson, he cut a lot more corners. He immediately went for a third Stargate and a Fleet Beacon. This time, he's going for Disruptors and he's throwing down more gateways. Like, he is not neglecting his ground presence here.
Yeah, which definitely makes a lot of sense. Peppy can go for a very quick push if he so wanted to right now.
Yeah, I think what I'm concerned about is that I hope that Peppy is able to scout this. He does check the third and he does see all the gateways, so that is something. He still hasn't seen the robotics bay, so he's unaware of the potential disruptors. But again, like, this is like some information that Peppy needs here to make the right decision. And oh, he's going for the mutas again.
Interesting. Gonna be much more of a harassment tool here as it was for Crimson earlier on, but there is an opportunity for him to, I don't know, maybe pounce on a couple of lone Void Rays as they come in to reinforce.
Yeah, I love this
in
so
low
much.
numbers.
Yeah, like the Void Ray count isn't too high. What I will say is that I love this a lot more on Blackburn, right? Like, earlier, if you recall, the main base of Blackburn was kind of protected by the fourth, and, you know, Crimson ran into the fourth and couldn't get into the main. But on a map like this, like, the main base is so much more vulnerable. Like, there is an opportunity here for Peppy to actually deal some economic damage.
I tell you what, there's no eyes in that island base or anything in between the two main bases, so
Yeah.
the element of surprise is going to hit very, very hard if Peppy decides to go that route.
Yeah, let's go.
The mutas ready.
Yeah, the mutas are here. What is in the main base? There is nothing. There's production. There's no shield battery. There's no cannon. There was no scouting. Again, ZAiN did not see that spire. Not just the main, but also the natural, and the voiders are completely out of position. Gonna have to recall.
Ay. And the mutal is finally hit! This mineral line is gonna get cleaned out. Peppy has the opportunity to either go for another mineral line, or if he so wanted to, take out the production as well. He's actually sniping a carrier!
Oh my
Forces
God.
a recall and gets the heck out of there, but not before taking out as many probes as he can.
Oh, that was beautiful, mate. All the workers go down. It even goes into the third base and gets a couple more. The carrier was the icing on the cake, and mate, the mutas are not done.
Battery. That they are not. Finally, the probes will retreat, but 29 of them get taken out. Look at that worker difference, and let's not forget, Peppy has a gold base behind all of this.
Yeah, man, he's got a gold. He's not just got a gold, he's working on his fifth base behind this as well. We do have Flux Veins on the way, and we do have a switch into Phoenixes, but you know what? The mutas have already dealt the damage they needed to, and now Peppy is switching into Corruptors.
Yeah, he knows that ZAiN is going to be switching into Phoenixes here, and will be focusing a bit more on his Sky Army.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Testing the structural capabilities of that shield battery.
Just a bit, just a bit.
Passes inspection.
Meanwhile, that corruptor count is getting higher and higher, but we do have disruptors on the way for ZAiN. There's still a ground army here, regardless, though. So, like, I still want to give the edge to Peppy here. He's executed this like early like style so well, and behind this, like, we even have Vipers coming out, mate.
Ultralisk Cavern behind all of this, just in case ZAiN decides to switch it to something like High Templar to complement his Skytoss army. I will say that it's gonna be tough for Peppy if he overextends. There's definitely still an opportunity for ZAiN to pull off a positional miracle with a little bit of battery overcharge, and maybe even with baiting the army into attacking static defense.
What I will
but
say,
all signs are pointing towards the Peppy advantage.
Yeah, definitely. And what I will say, like, again, the added benefit of the mutas is that for a while there, ZAiN switched into Phoenix production. So because of that, there's still only one carrier. Like, the carrier count hasn't really gotten out of hand. It's still very manageable for Peppy.
Absolutely is. A couple of Archons now on the ground. Peppy definitely doesn't want to get too many Archon volleys on top of these Mutalisks or these Corruptors, but they're isolated!
Oh my god, that they are. Like, these, like, if it wasn't for these Corruptors, like, there's nothing stopping Peppy from just rushing them forward. Ooh, nice feedback on one of the Vipers.
Yeah, completely taking it out of commission. Pressing bomb will be a little bit annoying, but not the worst thing in the world for ZAiN. The Phoenixes get taken out, but at this point, I think he much rather loses Phoenixes so he has more supply for other units.
Yeah, but the Phoenixes...
Will he be able to produce those units, though?
Yeah, but the Phoenixes, they went down for free. The Void Waves, they were distracted by the run by. Speaking of run by, 13 workers go down. The Lings, they just wreaked havoc here at the natural base.
At the very least, the Vipers do go down, but that's not going to be enough. Decent cutting here on the Corruptors, but in the end, Peppy will quit when he's ahead. Back away. He took out 30 more probes and a massive chunk of ZAiN's army. Yeah. He has got to be satisfied with that damage as he regroups for round 2.
And what I love is that behind this, Ultras are coming out here. Like the big bane that was really holding Peppy back there were the Archons. Finally, Peppy has something to help deal with them. Ultras may not be the ideal unit against Archons, but they're definitely going to help. What I will say is that Peppy is maxed out, and he really needs to get rid of these mutas. Like, mutas, like, their value has come and gone.
Yeah. Maybe they can help a little bit against the Zealots, but honestly, the Ultralists can do that on their own.
Yeah, I mean, they're better than nothing, I guess, but because Peppy is maxed out, like, he needs to refine his army. Like, look at his massive bank. Like, he needs to use it. He needs to spend it.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you do get a gold pace. I'll say that his gas count isn't the most formidable right now when it comes to banks, but it's still better than ZAiN's at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just worried that he's giving ZAiN too much time, because ZAiN, he's catching back up when it comes to the workers. Like, he's restabilizing, he's perfecting his army. I would love for Peppy to be, like, to split up his army, like, maybe even just send the mutas out to harass and find a couple more avenues of attack. He's just kind of been pondering in the middle of the map for the past minute.
Now, here's a question, Light. Do you think Peppy has too many workers?
Just a little bit, I don't think it's the biggest of deals, but I do think that is hurting him a little bit here. Thankfully, he's losing some drones.
Yeah, thankfully, yeah. One of the few times you'll hear that.
Meanwhile, here we go. Peppy finally sending out his mutas. He wants to get rid of them, but the army isn't too far away, so yeah, this is not the ideal place for the mutas to be. Oof.
I'll still be able to get a couple of probes. Pretty good storm. Will bloody mutas, but again, Peppy does not care about keeping these mutas alive.
Yeah. I'm sure he would have loved to trade them a little bit more efficiently, but man, I spoke too soon. Yo, they're actually getting a lot of workers. Oh my god.
Yeah, once again, just keeping ZAiN back. On the one hand, ZAiN having less workers will mean he has more army, but he has not reached a stage where he can afford to do that. He hasn't hit his massive bank where he can get rid of his workers and remax on army. The Corruptors are starting to get in position! Look at those exposed carriers!
Exactly, the Void Rays were not here to help keep the Corruptors back. 2 carriers get picked off for free. In come the Ultras. I don't think there's enough of the ground to really snowball here, but oh god, the Corruptors, they are just, again, dealing so much damage, but there are just too many Archons.
Yeah, too many Archons, too many Void Rays. I believe I saw a Disruptor on the ground, but not sure what happened there.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there he is. Thought it was going mad. Well, I already knew it was going mad, but...
Meanwhile, another Zealot Rumba here on the northernmost base. Oh, this is scary. If ZAiN pushes out now, Peppy, he needs Broodlords. More importantly, he needs time to get these Broodlords up and running. They're not ready yet, and ZAiN is pushing out.
Yeah, ZAiN hasn't quite seen the army yet, but if he's aware, he can pounce right on top of it just as Peppy's in mid-transition.
Oh, but they're done.
A lot of Broodlords do finish up. That they are, and there's a lot of dead space for him to take advantage of to try to clear up the High Templar as best he can. He cannot afford to leave them exposed to the Void Rays, though.
Oh god, exactly. They are looking a little bit exposed, but they're getting all of the High Templar. Storms are landing, but for the most part, oh my god, but that's a juicy storm.
That was a very juicy storm, but there's not enough to clean that up. The Void Rays, unfortunately, not going for the Broodlords, and they do rain Broodlings from above.
Mate.
The ground army gets taken out. The Eye army Sky army gets taken out.
And just like that, Peppy, he just crushes the Protoss army. The Broodlords finish just in time. ZAiN didn't know what the hell was going on. He was surrounded by Zerg. He was trying to storm the Corruptors as best he could, but he did not have an answer to the Broodlords. They just cleaned everything else up. Peppy, he maxes out. He remaxes. He's pushing out across the map. And ZAiN, he's really struggling to hold on here.
Yeah, he's trying his best. He's trying to come up with a solution to his Broodlords in Tempest, but there's just not enough time to get them. All the Chrono Boosts in the world is not gonna help out.
Not at all, mate. I mean, the storms are great and all, but there we go. The final Skytoss units go down, and now the Broodlords can reign free here. There is nothing to stop the Broodlords.
Oop. Yeah, I don't see the storms are pretty good positionally, but at the end of the day, you're gonna need a lot more than just storms. GG is called, and Peppy takes game number 1. This is why I love Blackburn. Very different game than we've seen in the other ZvP so far.
Hey, that was beautiful, mate. That was... oh my god. That was what Crimson wanted on 2000 Atmospheres. Oh god, we got to see a world, one world where the mutas did nothing, and another world where the mutas did everything, mate.
The timelines, yeah.
Oh my god.
Single fork in the road.
Wow, what a game. Peppy, he takes game number 1 in this best of 5 series, but you heard me right, you heard me correct there. It is still a best of 5, still plenty more matches to go.
Indeed, we will get at least 2 more games beyond this, but though ideally we get the full 5 set. I gotta be honest, like, I'm a little bit disappointed now that we got Blackburn this early.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to see what else happens. We have confirmation. Romanticide is game number 2, so most likely, we a map like Jagannatha was vetoed. Meanwhile, it looks like we are going to be remaking the lobby here. Unfortunately, WCS Game Heart was forgotten.
How crazy would it be if Oxide was a veto?
That would be crazy. That'd be insane. Do it. Oh god. I love how the Aussie guys are coming in here. Yeah.
The chat here.
Oh my god. Hold on.
Freaking chat.
I gotta add fuel to the fire.
Oh. Wait for it. Oh.
Oh god.
It's great. I love watching I love watching like Hut and Caesar and Peasant Chappie all just rib on each other.
I love how go on.
Every now and then Chase tries to come in, but Chase is way too nice for that, so
Starduck just messaged me, light please. right, here we go. We're getting ready for the next series. Oh god.
Stardock series still has not started, huh?
It hasn't. I think.
How long has he been waiting? Like 1.5 hours?
Oh, I mean, he speed ran his way to the qualifying match. That's the problem with
He
Stardock.
did.
He like.
Ay.
Oh god.
We waited quite some time here, and oh man, and an obstacle in his path is Piglet as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna take even longer.
Oh yeah, we're in for a long night, buddy. It's happening.
Rip China.
Yeah, it does mean that we most likely won't be able to cast DreamHack China today. It is a bit unfortunate, but you know, Funada ESL for scheduling both qualifiers on the same day, like basically at the same time.
Yeah, it is very compact, these open qualifiers, but does mean that there is going to be a lot more room next week onwards when we get to the closed qualifiers and main events. But without further ado, we are going to be continuing our first qualifying match of the evening. It is going to be on Romanticide, and in the bottom right-hand corner map, all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the green Zerg player representing Team Opus V. He is the golden man, and he is the pool firster. He is Peppy.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Pakistani Protoss player. This time he is red, representing himself as well as his brother Raza. It is ZAiN.
So we're seeing a lot of pool for us on Romanticide tonight. Like, well, to be fair, I think we only see 2 Romanticide maps in the tournament so far.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, I think something very important to note is that this was not just a pool first, this was a 12 pool opening, I believe. So very aggressive here from Peppy. Lanes are flooding across the map. We did see a probe scout, so he did see the timing of the pool as well as the hatchery, and the wall goes up.
It does. They just taking this very, very seriously. Chrono boosting out the Zealot as well. Or will when the Chrono... There we go.
Yep, there we go. He's being chrono boosted out. At the same time, there's a probe here to wall off completely, just in case the links show up a little bit earlier, or in case the Zealot does get surrounded.
Yeah, does not want to risk getting a natural base just yet, not until he's comfortably safe. Doing a bit of a back and forth here to Zealot and the Zergling. That's the Slings to almost make it in.
Oh my god, they do get a surround on the Zealot, and they're going to get another surround on the second Zealot.
Yo, if he can take out this pylon, the backup pylon should be in range.
This first pylon will go down 100%. Will the second pylon go down before the Adept pops out? That's the big question.
The one that's being built right now should go down, and these Lings may be able to run circles around the Adept. ZAiN really scrambling right now to wall everything off as well as he can. Should be able to fully wall with this Adept in position.
Oh, but the SimCity is hurting the Adept. He has to kind of move back and forth to defend the locations, and now this Cyber Core is exposed. Oh my god, can he actually get the Cyber? Mate, he's gonna get it.
He's gonna get it. He's not attacking with all of his legs.
Mate.
He's just going back and forth right now, leading this Adept on a wild goose chase.
Wow.
Backup Cyber Core thankfully does get produced. And the Lynx aren't quite able to break through that wall, but that was already a ton of damage. 2 Zealots, 1 Pylon, 1 Cyber Core at the cost of a handful of Lings.
Oh my god. And with that, this 12 pool has dealt so much damage. The Zealots went down, the Cyber Core went down, delaying Wharf Gate, more importantly, and forced this just awkward abomination of a wall, mate. Jesus Christ.
I see plenty of opportunities for a Bane bust if Peppy decides to go that route. But he's definitely got opportunities on his hands. He's dealt the damage he needed to deal. He's now on 3 bases. All he cares about right now is droning up, or that's all he should care about as he continues to make Lings just to be safe.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we do have, let's quickly check. Yeah, unfortunately, Link speed is a little bit late. Again, due to the opener, the gases were delayed for Peppy, but he should have more than enough to deal with these 2 Adepts. Hopefully, there is potential here for these Adepts to deal damage, but yes, the Links are on top of them.
Yeah, ZAiN doesn't want to risk it quite yet. This is his only form of map control until the oracles and the
Oh my god.
Void Ray ideally come out.
Mate, the ball's on this man. He's getting a third base without Warp Gate. Warp Gate finally starts up. But I guess it makes sense, right? Because of how late Link speed is. Like, Peppy doesn't really have much map control. Like, he can't really punish the third.
Yeah, especially considering that he's getting oracles out. He's being very active with them. He can catch his Zerglings in the middle of the map. And what is Peppy gonna do to respond?
Oh boy. Exactly. Meanwhile, what I'm worried about is that okay, Peppy, he does have an overlord. He sees everything. He knows that oracles are on the way. There we go. Spore is done at the third. Peppy is cutting some corners though, relying on queens to defend the natural instead of a spore.
Yeah, and to be fair, as long as the queens are in position, he should be able to chase these oracles away. ZAiN definitely being very cautious of his oracles.
Definitely.
Would prefer to keep the oracles alive for their utility.
And another thing that's interesting is that the queen production has not stopped. We have 3 more queens on the way. Creep is being spread hard. Roach Warren is being thrown down. Mate, I smell queen push.
Oh, I thought it was just dinner.
Could be something burning in the kitchen. It's I have a very similar smell, mate. Oh god.
Do you smell what Peppy's cooking? Maybe another queen push as the highway is in construction. The creep highway, that is.
Exactly. Meanwhile, roaches are on the way. Lair being thrown down. Never mind. My mistake. I thought that he was done with droning up, but he makes a wave of drones. I guess the kitchen is on fire.
So
oh god.
Somebody want to be making if the kitchen's on fire?
Ay. Here we go. The rocks are being taken down, so the push does have, a little bit more freedom when it comes to the reinforcements. There we go. The queens are showing up here. Yeah, I was just confused because of that moment of droning for Peppy, but I guess he's still committing to this. Thank God. I was worried about the kitchen, mate. God.
It was very expensive to get a key to do that kitchen, yeah. But yeah, I suppose Peppy just wants a little bit of insurance. We are on the Amanda side. It can be a little bit tougher to break through onto the ramp, even if you go for an early queen push like this. So yeah, he just wants to make sure that if the game continues on, he isn't completely out of it.
Mate, he has no shield batteries, by the way. Those are cannons. There's no shield. There's one shield battery at the third, and that is it. The queens are here, mate.
Oh no, the queens are getting ready to get in position. The roaches and the Ravagers really drawing fire away from the oracles. The Void Rays aren't out just yet.
No
so it's only oracles. He cannot. There's no Void Ray. He cannot afford to waste his energy on these oracles.
Mate, there's no
77 army supply versus 22.
What's happening? Cut the Link spot in. Oh my god, and more pumps happening. Immediately gets surrounded. Mate, there is no way ZAiN can stop this. The queens, the roaches, the Ravagers, it is all here, mate. Peppy is doing it.
Hey, I'm so confused as how this game panned out. Like, not even a single Void Ray?
Not a single Void Ray, not a single shield battery. The shield batteries are finally going to finish up, but at the third, mate, the third doesn't matter. The Cyber Core goes down. The Lings, they get into the main base. Oracles, what are they going to do? They're going to run out of energy. That's what they're going to do, mate.
There's nothing left to defend. A couple of desperate zealots do get warped in, but it is not going to be enough.
Yeah, exactly. Against all these queens and roaches, mate, GG gets called, and Peppy takes game 2. Mate.
Not what you want to be making. Queen pushes. They are insanely good when your Protoss opponent goes for a Void Ray opening. They're even better when your Protoss opponent has no Void Rays. As we learned. Even Duckling had to do a double take on that.
Wow. Just finally the Duckling fell. The Duckling, he was so in awe, he just couldn't stand upright anymore, mate. Oh god.
So confused of what he was looking at.
Now we have confirmation. I know people were wondering, mate, has Yaku been bouncing that the entire time? Yes. It's not glued onto the hats or anything like that.
Kuro was like suggesting to me earlier on, like, yo, do you want to like put some tape on there, like double set tape or whatnot? And like, nah, it's fine. He's a good boy.
Oh god, that just takes the magic away, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a delicious meal Peppy was cooking up.
It's
Kitchen. And now he's on match point against ZAiN, who we knew from the previous season was such a good PvZ player. Taking out the likes of Oreo, taking out the likes of, trying to remember the other Zerg players he took out, but mate, if you take out Oreo, that's how you know that you're a good PvZ player.
Exactly, exactly. I'm just rewatching what's happening on the screen right now. Oh my god, Pez is freaking out.
Pez is having a field day. He's like,
Yeah.
I didn't go all in for nothing with my channel points. I'm not gonna have to file for bankruptcy.
Exactly. Pez, he went all in on his boy,
man.
and things are looking good for Pez, man.
Yeah. I don't know the same if not for loss. But regardless, we are continuing our series here on 2000 Atmospheres LE, potentially the final map of this qualifying match. Hopefully that's not the case, and we get 2 more after this. But in the top right-hand corner map, swatting all the way to the top right-hand corner, we have the green Zerg player coming out for the land of Australia. Definitely the dark horse in this bracket, taking out Runamuck 2-0. Can he take out ZAiN 3-0? Can he? It wouldn't be unlikely. He is Peppy.
My god, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the favorite in this series. Straight up, we were looking at the bracket, and ZAiN is an insanely strong player. But he is down. I already said his name, but screw it. He's down 0-2 in this best of 5 qualifying match. He's doing it for his boy, for his brother, but apparently that is not enough. It is ZAiN.
Oh man. Now that Reza has switched his ID, their Archon name is gonna be very on point. ZAiN? Dude.
ZAiN, mate.
Or just Rain.
Oh, Rain. I love it. Raza and ZAiN together, mate. Oh my god, that's beautiful. But I see some of the UK boys in the chat, like Molten, like Redane as well. They're here cheering for their boy. And mate, ZAiN needs your energy, mate. He needs it so badly. Again, it's so surprising that he's down in this series like this. No one expected it. Even Oreo didn't. Oreo went the opposite way. He threw everything down on ZAiN. He's close to losing everything. Oh my god.
He's like, yeah, the sort is like, hey, thanks for the free money, Pez. But no. Peppy really taking it to ZAiN over here.
Oh my god. Alright, here we go. We gotta calm down. Game 3. 2000 Atmospheres.
And I do feel like this is a map that ZAiN is relatively comfortable on. I mean, it's a map that we've seen him win quite a bit when it comes to PvZ. If I'm remembering my stats correctly from DreamHack Mass's summer, it is kind of a map he's very comfortable on, but that might not matter in the end. Peppy has shown 2 very different styles on 2 very different maps.
He has, right? And here on 2000 Atmospheres, he's chilling out. You know, we don't have an early pool, we don't have a 12 pool or anything like that. Instead, everything is looking pretty standard. Speaking of ZAiN, he is now reverting back to what worked best for him. He's going for his Void Rays.
Yeah, definitely very good to see here. Just trying to take the map control as early as possible and see where this evolves. How do you feel if ZAiN went for his Stargate into Twilight Council build that he did against Crimson? Because I feel like that would be very effective here on 2000 Atmospheres.
It definitely could be. It definitely could be. I think something that other people have pointed out as well that I do think that ZAiN has to be more on top of is his scouting. He has to respect his opponent and what his opponent is doing, especially because Peppy is doing his own cheeky shenanigans, mate. He has been doing nothing but drone up, and now he's going straight into a lair.
Bit of an economic cheese. Least with the opener here.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to wonder what he has in store for us here, right? Like, he still hasn't taken the rest of his gases. He has a decent amount of queens, I guess. We're not gonna see a Nidus, are we? That'd be crazy. That'd be insane.
It would be, but he's laying the gas for a little while. Oracle does come in and will scout the quicker lair. Because they should be posturing back home. He doesn't know what's coming his way, but he should know that something's coming his way, and it's gonna be Hydras! Peppy taking a page from Soulless Book.
I love it. I love it. I love Hydras, mate. Here we go. But meanwhile, ZAiN listening and paying attention to what Yaku was saying, going from that initial
Yes! Oh!
into a Twilight Council.
Okay, not quite the Charged Archon build, or at least not yet, but even still, Glaive Adepts can be devastating against Hydras if they get on top of them.
Exactly. Like, ideally have roaches to defend against this. Unfortunately, Peppy, he hasn't gone into the main base. He hasn't gone for another scout, so he doesn't know what the follow-up is. I wouldn't blame Peppy. Right now, he assumes it's double Stargate Void Ray, because that's what ZAiN did last time, and that's how ZAiN has been winning games. So that's why he's going for this Hydra timing. Unfortunately for Peppy, he's up against the Glaive Adepts, and he needs to scout this. He needs to figure out what's going on.
The one game he doesn't go for a Roach Warren.
Mate.
Jeez.
Right? There's no roaches. There are a lot of queens and tweens. Queens, they can be chunky, right? They can be thick. They can tank a lot of shots, but here come the Adepts. Look at them all. Oh my god.
Keep in mind that the Adepts also don't have to fight the Queens if they don't want to.
Yeah, they don't. Hydras are coming out, but there's barely any of them, and Hydras are going to do nothing against the Adepts. Finally, the Adepts show themselves, and now Peppy's like, oh shit. He's like, oh god.
I built the wrong tech building.
Yeah, the Adepts, they come in, they kill a couple of drones. The drones are forced off the line. We'll see if Peppy can minimize losses here.
Yeah, honestly, a pretty decent drone pull, minimizing the drone losses so far. ZAiN actually does commit to that shade. Surprisingly, that was definitely an opportunity to maybe try to snipe some tech if he so desired, but now he has enough Adepts to just split up his forces. No matter what, Peppy is going to take losses.
Yeah, what I will say though is that Peppy hasn't lost too many drones. Like, Peppy's just been so on point with pulling away his boys, with splitting up his army. Sure, he can't really deal with these Adepts. Let's be real, let's be honest. He's struggling, but yeah, there we go. Now he's pushing in. Uh-oh.
Yeah, the lair is getting low. But it does get transfused, so ZAiN, I think, has realized that these Adepts are probably going to be a lot more efficiently used elsewhere, like, say, a juicy mineral line. Peppy's doing a very good job of just denying the shade, so...
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is great. Like, I was so worried for Peppy earlier, but ZAiN, he never committed to a shade into a mineral line with workers, and as a result, look at the units lost. Like, hey, oh, never mind. Oh, scratch that. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's always the caveat with Glaive Adepts, isn't it? You think you're holding really, really well, all of a sudden, two Adepts make shade into a mineral line, and oh no. Even still, though, a much better defense than I was expecting, but it's still a very devastating loss for Peppy.
Yeah.
Just look at worker difference.
Exactly. All it takes is one shade. And to be fair, throughout all of that, like, Peppy wasn't making drones, he was making army, he was making lings. Now he's going for a counterattack, but mate, two Colossus are on the way. Like, ZAiN, he's well aware of the Hydras, he's getting ready, like, the perfect army against it. Lurkers are being morphed in. Can Peppy hit before the Colossus? Like, I just don't think he has an answer to them.
Yeah, even if he does hit, the Colossus are on their way. They way outrange the Hydras, especially with thermal lance. It's a lot more micro potential for the side of ZAiN than for the side of Peppy.
Definitely. Like, he's got the sentries for force fields. He's throwing down the cannons and the shield batteries. He has detection. He does tag all of the lurkers.
That he does. Beautiful force fields, isolating a lot of these Hydras. Peppy getting a little bit of a surround, but it doesn't matter when the firepower is this hot.
Exactly. The second Colossus joins in, and I just don't think there are enough Hydras here to push through. The Stalkers, they just blink on forward. They focus down the Lurkers. The cannons actually providing detection to reveal the Lurkers as well. Oh, God.
I love it. He needs to prioritize those Colossus. He cannot allow any of his rogue facilities to be making an observer. Just get cannons, mate.
Just
Why
get
not?
cannons, mate. That's all you need. And ZAiN pushes away the army, and now Peppy's in an awful position. He is far behind in workers. He's only on 3 hatcheries. He doesn't have a 4th. He's trying to make more army, but like his first push was his strongest, and it fell in his face. ZAiN, I think he is fighting back. He is going to be making a series out of this.
Yeah, you love to see it. Peppy doesn't quite have, and so if the lurkers are still alive and they could be used offensively, then maybe he can stem the tide long enough to catch back up. But I was looking. To say that's looking rough is a bit of an understatement.
Definitely, definitely. And here comes ZAiN. He's pushing on forward. There are going to be a couple of lurkers, but they're not in position yet. The revelation was wasted on the Hydras, so he doesn't have detection for the lurkers.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have to fight the lurkers just yet. Again, Thermal Lance Colossus, plenty of opportunities to siege.
And now he's just cleaning up with his creep. And the problem is that even if ZAiN can't break into the 3rd base, there's no 4th. ZAiN is just going to starve out his opponent. And ZAiN, he has his own 4th Nexus. Like, this is a devastating position to be in if you're a Zerg player.
Yeah, Peppy's trying his best to counterattack and reciprocate the damage. Oh, an Observer comes in. I appreciate the idea from Peppy there, but it was not going to be enough. GG's call. ZAiN fights back.
Exactly. GG. It was it was one of those things where unfortunately Peppy rolled the dice. He made a lot of assumptions on what his opponent was doing, and he had no idea that there were glaives coming. Like, Peppy was punished for his lack of scouting.
He absolutely was. As both players were going a little bit blind, but Peppy, or ZAiN rather, I should say, he was being a little bit more active in this map compared to Peppy. Going in with his oracles, didn't quite see the Hydra Den, but he knew the lair timing.
Yeah.
He knew he could get away with a glaive adept build, no matter what was coming his way.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so in a way, kind of like a build loss in a way from Peppy, but again, like, that's what happens when you gamble like that, you know, like.
Yeah.
Oh god, Peppy still has
an Oreo with your channel points.
Exactly. Oh god. Meanwhile, still not. I mean, they are patiently waiting for
in the
us.
chat here. Oh, okay, that's good to hear. Well, that's nice of them.
That they are.
Piglet and Starduck are the other. Is going to be the other qualifying match on the other side of this bracket, a full best of 5.
That it is. Meanwhile, here we go. We are diving into game number 4. Again, as we said before, ZAiN, he is fighting back in this series. You know, he has put a point on the board. Can he take it all the way to the ace match?
Hopefully. As more and more players are starting to get in here, giving both of these players as much of their energy as they can. We're continuing our series on Oxide LE. We're in the top right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner. We have a green Zerg player coming out from the land of Australia. He is finally bleeding in this tournament. Representing Team Opus V, he is Peppy.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Pakistani Protoss player. He is red, representing himself, his brother, his people. It is ZAiN.
Whew. Gotta appreciate that energy boost coming in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at least at the end of this, it isn't going to be like a one-sided series. You know, that's I don't know if that's like a good thing for either player, really. So, you know, we are gonna be going at least into game 4. But Peppy is still so close, mate. He's so close to closing this out.
Yeah, it may not be good for the players. Definitely not good for the viewers, having a one-sided series.
Yeah. We won an ace match, right? Like, I'm sure there are some people that would be thankful for like Peppy to close this out nice and fast. But I won like an intense back and forth series. It'd be great to see both players work for it.
feel like StarDuck would be grateful for that, so
True.
he can finally start his match.
Yeah. StarDuck doesn't care, mate. He just wants the series to end.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Like, let me play so I can go back to bed. Let's be real, so we can go back to character survival.
It's true. StarDuck, mate, he just woke up. He woke up for the tournament. He's on that D-Gen sleep schedule. Exclamation mark Funada StarDuck in the chat. God damn it. But yeah, here we go. We are getting into this game number 4 on Oxide. Oxide, a map that we have seen some pretty solid queen pushes on. I mean, the rush distance is relatively long, so we don't see it too often. I'm really curious to see what Peppy has planned, right? Because he is a man with a plan, right? Like last game, he went in, he was looking to go for that Hydra build. Could have something else in store for us here.
Yeah, very deep bag of tricks Peppy has gotten. Peppy has. He has played every single game so far in a completely different style with completely different build.
Yeah, exactly. So what's going to come out here? Meanwhile, we do have a Stargate opening from ZAiN. Pretty standard. It's what we would expect. Slow Ling does sneak into the main base, and he will spot, the Oracle first.
Ooh. Interesting. Hoping we get another triple Oracle build coming out here, but I also hope that ZAiN is going to be stable enough if Peppy goes for an early push.
Definitely. Meanwhile, once again, the 2 adepts do shade in. Ooh, forces the drones off the line. But there's still 2 drones here. Oh god.
Oh. 1 drone remaining. Probe! No! We're good up for nothing!
Not too sure what the probe was doing there, but nice pull by Peppy. He hasn't lost any drone yet. Meanwhile, the adepts do shade away, so just some lost mining time.
Yeah, not the biggest of deals in the world, but still a little bit less than ideal for Peppy. Kept on his toes, unable to get into the game he wanted to just yet.
Yeah, not quite yet. Meanwhile, we have the second, or is this? Yep, the second Oracle.
Yeah, the second
is on the way for ZAiN. Is he gonna go for 3, mate? Is he not gonna stop here?
I'm looking at that production tab. I'm looking at that red bar in the production tab. Okay, just stop it at 2 for the time being. There's that third Oracle. You'll love to see it.
Hey, just hashtag play like Pez. That's all you gotta do, mate.
It really is.
Oh god, I love this. So yeah, ZAiN really, like he just doesn't want to go back into those void rays. It makes sense, right? He hasn't had that kind of success with it against Peppy specifically. Yeah,
not just yet anyway. But he's still going for more of a Roboface style here. Going to be a little bit more passive for the time being. We'll see if he throws on a Twilight Council or additional Stargates beyond this.
Yeah. I'm also curious to see what Peppy's got in store for us, because once again, he's going for a fast layer. This is looking very reminiscent to the last game where he went for a fast Hydra Den. I imagine that may be a similar thing here, and never mind. Instead, goes for a Roach Warren.
He learned the error of his ways.
Honestly, I wouldn't be
one
opposed.
game he doesn't make a Roach Warren. It's one game the Glaive Depths come in.
True, very true. I'll be honest, I wouldn't have been opposed to a Hydra push. Again, like, there's no Twilight Council this time, so I think it would have maybe found a little bit more success. But, oh god, the Adepts are still here, Glaiveless, but still, very much so, they pose a big threat.
Yeah, let's watch a target firing here, because that can really be all it comes down to. If it's on point, or even just delaying the mining time is going to be huge right now for ZAiN. Playing with the shades. Oh, actually commits to that shade.
Oh my god, commits to the shade. The lanes are ready and waiting, but the Oracles dive in as well.
Yeah, they are able to get a couple of drones here and there, but the Lings are making it that much more difficult to just target fire the drones here and there. Finally, more of them go down. A lot of them are starting to go down.
Yeah, all the Lings got cleaned up. Now it's only Queens to try and deal with these Adepts, and the Queens are so slow. They're struggling to keep up. More drones get focused down. The defense was so good for Peppy, but in the end, just ZAiN, he just wouldn't give up. And he may even get a Queen. Oh my god.
Ooh, very nicely done here. Once again, you never want to think it's over until it's over when it comes to Adept harass, even if they don't have glaives.
Yeah, that's how deadly, dangerous Adepts can be. Meanwhile, you know, the tech is not stopping. I believe the Adepts did spot the Spire, so ZAiN is well aware that Mutus could be coming out here, so he should be getting ready for a response. He's getting the tech for those Archons.
Yeah, if you didn't see it before, you should see it now. With that revelation, a lot more gateways being thrown down, charges being researched. You'll love to see this, another Charged Archon push.
Yeah.
We'll see if Peppy is more equipped to deal against this than Crimson, though.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little bit worried. Like, against Charged Archon, Road Ravager can do well, but what's worrisome is that it's not just Charged Archon, mate. Disruptors are coming out as well, and we talk about it all the time. It's so difficult to split against that sort of thing with Roach Ravager, and I'm also worried because Mutas are coming out. To be fair, I guess there's not much that shoots up here. Like, the Archons aren't ready yet.
Yeah. And it's definitely a lot easier to split Mutalisk against Disruptors than it is to split Roaches. Oh, good catch so far. He's able to pick off the Oracles before they can join the fight. The Sentries is in position, though.
And the Archons join up as well. So now these Mutas are not going to find too much damage because these Archons, maybe they can try and pounce on this War Prism, but oh my god, it's being defended so well.
Yeah, the one thing that ZAiN has going for him right now is that Archons have a very, very short attack range. So one false move and there's going to be a lot of opportunity for Peppy to pounce in with his Mutalisk, but ZAiN is just keeping his army so compact and so tight, not allowing him to have any of those openings. Yeah,
and Peppy just doesn't have the supply, he just doesn't have the army, he's pushing on forward, all the biles, they do not connect. And at the moment, the Mutas, they are across the map, they did deal with the Oracles, but I just don't know if he can deal with the charge slots.
Yeah, not dealing too much economic damage either across the map. ZAiN is still in a very comfortable position. The Queens and the Ravagers are starting to go down, and the Archons and the Zealots is still standing strong. GG, ZAiN takes it to the ace match.
Oof, Here we go. We do have that ace match. We are tied up 2-2. And now it all ends here.
To see it. What is going to be the ace map?
That's a good question.
I'm kind of hoping it's Beckett, even though all logic in my brain is saying it's not going to be Beckett. But I kind of want it to be.
Yeah, what's it? What is it going to be here? Right, could be Beckett.
Could be Lightshade, right?
Could be Lightshade. It should be Lightshade, right? Like Jagannatha should have been vetoed, right? Right?
Right? No.
Oh boy, let's see, let's find out as the lobby has been made, and it is going to be Jagannatha.
Wow. Can't believe Lightshade was the one that got vetoed. Get out of here, Starduck. It's like, guys, I just want to play my match. Should have thought about that before you spent running your way. You spent running your way through qualifiers.
Exactly. But Peppy did ask for a small break, a small bathroom break, so it makes sense. It's been a very long series, and it all comes down to this. Oh boy. I'm worried, man. Like, Peppy, he's got it in him, but at the same time, he just hasn't been on point when it comes to, like, scouting these pushes and preparing himself for them. He's been gambling a lot as well, right? Putting a lot of stock in those mutas and having them essentially be wasted resources there in the defense.
Yeah. Especially considering he has completely lost the momentum he once had in this series. If this was a best of 3, he would have nothing to worry about. He would have already made it to the next round, but it is a best of 5, and ZAiN has been able to prove his adaptability here in the longer series.
I will also say that, like, I think Peppy, regardless of how this series is going to go, I hope he's satisfied knowing that, hey, he took it to the ace match. Like, he did the unexpected. So many people looked at this series and it's like, yo, ZAiN, he is the overall favorite. But despite that, like, Peppy has been able to make him work really hard for it, and almost took the entire series, like even a 3-0, right? Like, that's how close he was. So a very impressive showing by Peppy already.
Definitely was. And now it all comes down to Jagannatha, who is going to take it.
Oh boy, who indeed? As we are loading in, Peppy has returned from his break. Oh, speaking of, everyone, make sure you stretch your roaches, hydrate your hydras as we get into this final game.
I'm worried to stretch right now because of Ducky. But everybody else, please do stretch, as it is going to be a bit of a long evening. We have another best of 5 beyond this, so yeah, take the opportunity while you can as we spawn into Jagannatha LE. We're in the top right-hand corner map, starting all the way to the top right-hand corner. We have a Greens player coming out from the land of Australia. He was definitely the dark horse in this entire bracket. Nobody thought he was going to be able to take out Runamuck 2-0. Nobody thought he was going to be able to take ZAiN to the ace match here. Is he going to go beyond all of that? We'll find out. Representing Team Opus V, he's Peppy.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the Pakistani Protoss player, this time blue, representing himself, fighting back from a 0-2 deficit, taking it to the ace match. Can he close it out? It is ZAiN.
What? Honestly, what a weird series we've seen so far. Very interesting plays from both of our players, but the most bizarre thing about this series, I think, is just the fact that Jagannatha has not been vetoed.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's very interesting that Lightshade was the one that was vetoed out of all the maps. I mean, the rush is pretty small.
I guess maybe they're sick of it. Yeah,
yeah,
it is pretty small, and you know, maybe they're just a little sick of Lightshade at this point. Who knows, really?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Well, I'm sure our players know, but
whatever is going through their mind, it's crazy. It's insane even.
Oh,
hey, that's what we were saying. That's what we were saying last season. He was insane. Oh god, it's all coming back to me. It's all coming back.
Man, that whole week of open qualifiers is like just blends together entirely for me.
I mean, this
was like a long fever dream.
Yeah, I mean,
it's gonna happen this week too.
100%. Like, we've been casting every single day this week, multiple times a day. Like, it's it's all becoming one blood, mate.
Monday is gonna happen, and all of a sudden I'll be like, huh, what happened yesterday in the qualifiers?
Fun fact, Pig pinged us on Twitter, like, yo, were there any, like, sick games, like, that I can, like, do, like, a replay review of or anything like that? And I'm like, I know there were. Like, every single day there was at least, like, 2 or 3, like, standout matches, but, like, I can't, so, like, separate it all, you know?
Oh, that is actually very shrewd from you, Light. What you're saying is, Pig, you gotta watch your VOD. If you want to find out.
You gotta watch the VOD, mate. Oh, God.
Well, speaking of being shrewd, ZAiN being a little bit annoying here in that third base location, forcing Peppy to go for a bit more of a forward third hatchery, which is a little bit more isolated, I suppose.
Definitely. Meanwhile, the Adepts are here being annoying just like the previous game, but this time they're playing their leagues. Link speed is done, and Peppy is going to be chasing down these Adepts.
This is a recall. Oh, actually gets one of them. Barely doesn't get the other one.
Yeah, just barely. Meanwhile, ZAiN did open up with that Stargate, going for that Oracle first, as we saw previously, and once again actually committing to a second Oracle.
Yeah, I believe statistically anyway, this is what's given him the most success in this series in particular. Trying to remember if Romanticide was a 3 Oracle build. I believe it was. We'll just call it an outlier.
Yeah, there is that third Oracle, just like the previous game.
And he is banking them up a little bit, so he wants to be a lot more active in the drone harass when he makes it across the map. He wants those drones to go down.
Yeah.
But more than anything, he wants his Oracles to stay alive.
Yeah, and I'm really worried because, again, there's only one Queen here in the main base. Like, one Spore is not enough to deter these Oracles. They can't just dive in and one-shot all of these drones, and they dive in.
Just like so. And they dive out. Not even taking any hull damage.
Nicely done there by ZAiN. He's going to be able to dive in again later on, getting 3 drone kills.
Hopefully more than 3 next time, but yeah, 3 drone kills next time he dives in. Still gonna be pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a good start. It's a good start. Oh boy, and so far it looks like ZAiN wants to go into chargeless again, working on +1, throwing down additional gateways.
Why break what isn't broken?
Exactly. Meanwhile, the Adept shade in. Ooh, the drones are pulled just barely in time, so not many worker losses. But we've been here before where there are only queens to defend, so like these Adepts kind of have free reign.
They absolutely do. Committing to the shades right as the drones pull right on top of Noracle. Noracle might go down, and it will go down. But before that, 6 drones get taken right off the face of this map, 7 even.
Jesus Christ, now ZAiN far ahead in terms of that worker count. There is that Twilight Council, there is that Robotics Bay. ZAiN just ramping up when it comes to his tech and production. Meanwhile, very interesting, we have +1 melee coming out from Peppy.
Ooh, committing a lot more to Lingbane, potentially getting Mutas later on, and that is definitely a way to deal with a more ground-based army, especially if it's going to be charged with Archon later on.
Yo, he wants the other one. He wants it.
Sentry is stuck behind its own force fields.
Yeah, he saved himself with his own force fields. Nicely done there by ZAiN, but he still ended up losing one of his sentries regardless. Lings are coming back in. Oh, can they get it? Oh. Not this time.
Not quite able to get the sentry, yeah. Series, we do see the Spire getting thrown down by Peppy for the first time since Blackburn, I want to say.
Hey, he really wants his mutas to work. Like, he's playing this like a team, like a ZvT. He's going Lingbane muta, mate. Oh god, he's gonna get scouted.
We'll see if it works out for him. Spire doesn't get scouted just yet. Now it should be with that revelation.
Yeah, there he goes. The drone, the traitor drones do reveal the Spire. Oh god. Also, a bit of a mistake there. There are 2 Bailey nests thrown down. But it's fine. It's fine.
Just in case one gets scouted.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Sure. Why not? But I'm concerned because ZAiN, he's pushing out once again with that War Prism. He's going to have a lot of charge to work with, and Peppy, he doesn't have any Banelings ready.
He really does not. He's starting to produce. No, he's actually only getting Baneling speed.
Okay. He's going for a big counterattack. Maybe he can force ZAiN to pull back.
That's the idea, but ZAiN can definitely afford to cancel this 4th base just like so, and he is committing? Not quite yet. He sees that the Lings are pulling back though, and now he pulls the trigger.
Oh god, exactly. He is going for this 4th base. The boys are forced off the line. No Banelings whatsoever, only Lings and Queens to defend. There we go, finally they're being morphed in.
But is it going to be too late? The Archons are starting to inch closer and closer. ZAiN being very careful with his Zealots right now. He does not want them to charge right into the Banelings like that. The Banelings go down to the Archons. And Peppy has a lot of Lings. He should be able to clear this out, but not before his entire economy gets crippled.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there was some nice Baneling connections there on those Zealots, but the problem is that there was another group of Zealots here at the natural base. 16 drones go down. This eventually will be cleaned up, but now it's on Peppy to try and deal some counter damage with these mutas.
And is he able to do that? It's going to be the big question. More Archons are being morphed in. A couple of Phoenixes are even being produced just to make use of that Stargate.
Yeah.
This is an exposed 5th base, or I guess 4th base. But he can totally afford to just cancel that.
It is. He does force a cancel. Meanwhile, the mutas come in. Ooh, unfortunately, there's a cannon. There are Archons. The 3rd base is completely safe. But Peppy, like, if he can, oh god, thanks, please. Oh god.
Yeah, Lings throwing their heads against the wall, literally, and getting punished by the Archons.
Just a bit. I do think that maybe Peppy can try and deny this space again, but ZAiN repositions his army. He will get this 4th up and running. Meanwhile, Peppy is working on his 5th. He is attempting to catch up in terms of the workers. I just worry because he's still stuck on the Lingbane muta. Oh.
Yeah, he's definitely caught up in terms of workers. If he so wanted to, he could try to be a bit more greedy, but it's the tech that's very worrisome.
Yeah, like the Archons and the Charge-Outs are here once again. Thankfully, there's no War Prism to reinforce. Like, this is all that ZaiN has across the map, but even then, this may be enough.
Yeah, honestly, Phoenixes back at home are grouping themselves up to be able to deal with the Mutalisk in the sky. These Archons are so tightly packed together that their volleys are going to completely wipe out Lynx in the ground.
Yeah, he just waltzes his way all the way into the natural base. The Banelings are connecting with the Stalkers, and the Mutants are trying to Magic Box on top of the Archons.
But it is not working out. These Archons were able to get enough volleys out. GG, and ZaiN is going to be a first player advancing to the closed qualifiers from the evening's open qualifiers.
Oof,
Good
GG.
game, very well played, yeah.
Yeah,
Peppy
I mean, my
was
heart,
definitely the under. Yeah.
I was gonna say my heart goes out to Peppy. Like, he was so close. Like, he, as you were saying, he was the underdog and he was doing so well in this series, but in the end, it just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, he was definitely the underdog. Nobody thought he was going to be able to take ZaiN to the match point and take those two games right from the get-go. But in the end, ZaiN adapted his play so well against what Peppy was going for. You notice that in the first two games, he wanted to go for a Stargate style. He wanted to do what, you know, Protoss normally does, Void Races the carriers, and once he realized Peppy had the tools to deal with that style, he just went for something completely different and was able to take that series, is able to advance to the close qualifiers.
Mm-hmm.
And now finally, Startup gets to play.
Finally, Starduck and Piglet get to play with their match. But again, congratulations to ZaiN. He fought well. He didn't give up despite being down 2-0. And honestly, that takes a lot of mental fortitude to pull that off, right? So that
really
is very impressive. He was able to bring it back. I think what's important as well is that he showed off that, hey, he doesn't have to rely on Void Race. He doesn't have to rely on that kind of style to win. He can play with Charge Archons. He can play with Adepts. He is, he has more available to him than just Sky.
Absolutely.